This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 2nd day of February in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. As the three men accused of murdering cousins Joel and Isaiah Henry appeared at the Blairmont Magistrates Court this morning, their family members protested while declaring their innocence. When the case was called, the prosecutor informed the court that all of the files related to the case were not available. That forced the magistrate to adjourn the matter until the 16th of February. Outside the Blairmont Magistrates Court, family members of the accused gathered with placards and chanted loudly that the three men were wrongfully accused and should not have been charged for the double murder. The mother of Vinod Gopal, who was one of the accused, insisted that her son was innocent.
My son know nothing. Nothing. Vinod Gopal. The police garden. Vinod Gopal never cross. Boris. Bridge. Never. Mother.
You're his mother. You're the
Yes.
mother of Gopal. What do you
Yes. Then saying that the whole my son for murder. I said me never talk with me never come in town. Instead I come here say case and he and me come meeting them bring you tea. But he didn't bring you tea. And he said that he hold for murder. And he tell me said that he never know anything about that. But Henry people them nothing.
The three men, 19-year-old Akash Singh, also known as Monkey of Zilot East Bank Essequibo, his stepbrother, 33-year-old Anil Sanchara, also known as Dan Pol and Rasta of the Edward Village, West Coast, Berbice, and 34-year-old Vinod Gopal, also known as Maga of Yekosari, Blackbush, Pol, the Quarantine, are facing murder charges for the gruesome murders of Joel and Isaiah Henry in the Cotton Tree Bank Dam, West Coast, Berbice, back in September of last year. Since their first appearance in court, two of the accused, Sanchara and Gopal, have been proclaiming their innocence. Family members of the victims have also raised questions of their own on the police arrest and charging of the three suspects. The family of the two murdered teens have been calling for a full and thorough investigation. More news coming up in just a moment.
I'm a lover of dancing from since I small. I danced the foxtrot, very filled, a pain in the foot.
Lymphatic filariasis can be a chronic disease, and left long enough without being treated or identified can cause debilitation. If you're infected as a child, it's there, it multiplies in your system, in your body for years until it actually causes damage to the lymphatic system.
So when it started to swell, I couldn't wear sandal, I couldn't wear a shoe.
The stigma that's attached to them, it's something that's overwhelming.
Yeah, these times your name changed. You're no longer who you are, Bigfoot lady.
When they used to share these tablets, I used to disregard them. And when I know the importance of the tablet, when I got this foot, then when they come around again and give me tablets, I throw down my throat in front of them and say, when I go inside and drink some water.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
What if eliminating lymphatic filariasis was as easy as running the 50-meter sprint? Guyana is then well advanced in the race to eliminate lymphatic filariasis, known commonly as filaria. As we are crossing the finish line, let us remember that this chronic infectious illness can survive in our bodies for years unknowingly before triggering health conditions like hydrocele and elephantitis. What we also know from the current global pandemic is that chronic conditions put you at a higher risk of complications when contracting COVID-19. Your best prevention method is taking your filaria tablets during the mass drug administration campaign. This is the step that takes Guyana closer to the finish line of eliminating filaria as a public health problem. A message from the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyoil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. The government of Guyana has made a decision to downgrade the Guyana High Commission in Trinidad and Tobago to a Consulate General. The Trinidad and Tobago government has been informed of the decision by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is unclear what triggered the move by the government, but the Foreign Affairs official confirmed the change to news source and explained that the Consulate General will still meet the needs of Guyanese in Trinidad and Tobago, including the provision of representative and other services. Additionally, the new Guyana Consulate General will pursue all bilateral relations on behalf of the Guyana government in Trinidad and Tobago. Guyana established a High Commission in the neighboring Caribbean country under the previous government in February of 2017. At the time, the move was welcomed by the Trinidad and Tobago government, which saw the opening of the High Commission as a way of boosting and strengthening ties, while enabling greater trade and investments between Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. Before opening the High Commission in Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana was served by an honorary consul general. Let's tell you now that former APNU AFC Member of Parliament Charandas Prasad has been confirmed as Guyana's new High Commissioner to India. He's expected to take up the post soon. It was Prasad's yes vote for a no-confidence motion against his own government that led the APNU AFC to lose that no-confidence motion and months of court battles over the motion. Just after the vote, Prasad, who is also a Canadian citizen, sought the protection of the Canadian government and headed home to Canada, where he remained until recently when the government changed following elections here in Guyana. He has always defended his vote against the APNU AFC government, which many believe paved the way for its eventual ouster from office. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed his appointment as the new High Commissioner to India. The Foreign Affairs Ministry has also confirmed that former President and former Prime Minister Samuel Hines has been selected as Guyana's new ambassador to the United States. Guyana has already forwarded its election to the U.S. government and is now awaiting the U.S. government's agreement for the appointment to move ahead. Mr. Hines, who served briefly as president in 1997 following the death of Dr. Chetty Jagan, served in all 23 years of the PP Civic in government. He was Prime Minister from 1992 to 1997, then reappointed Prime Minister again in 1997. He stepped down from the position briefly in 1999 after Mrs. Janet Jagan was preparing to resign as President. During that brief period, the then Finance Minister Bara Jagdeo was appointed Prime Minister, then later became President after Mrs. Jagan resigned. Hines was then reappointed as Prime Minister and remained in that post until 2015. The Foreign Affairs Ministry is also replacing the ambassador to China. Former Deputy Ambassador to China An Yin-chu will be heading back to China as the new ambassador. She is a career diplomat and her most recent posting was that of Guyana Consul General in Toronto, Canada. News source understands that the government is currently making final arrangements for the appointment of other heads of missions abroad. President Irfaan Ali believes that any reform of the Guyana Elections Commission will first have to examine the professionals who work at the body. Appearing on the Globespan online talk show last evening and responding to a question about whether there is a need to change the makeup of the commission itself and the government and opposition representatives, the president said attention needs to be paid to the professionals at the GCOM Secretariat, who are expected to be unbiased.
Mingo is not a member of the commission. Lowenfield is not a member, but Lowenfield is a chief election officer. And we have to ask the first question. Professionals. It is the professionals who were supposed to be unbiased that failed us in the first place. The Secretariat itself. And that is what has to be addressed. The restructuring of the entity itself. We didn't reach to the commission. The problem started with rogue action. The problem started with unprofessional behavior in the wide view of the world.
A number of employees of the GCOM Secretariat, including the Chief Election Officer, the Deputy Chief Election Officer, and the Region 4 Returning Officer, are currently before the courts, facing allegations of fraud at the last elections. They have all rejected the allegations and have declared their innocence of the charges. President Ali said persons serving the GCOM Secretariat and others in the public service must understand their role.
You have to decide whether you're a politician or you're a professional. And that is one of the major problems that we have to address in the country too. Don't tell me that you're a professional environmentalist and you only care about professional things and professional conduct, and at the same time you are on a political platform supporting and promoting a political view, campaigning for a political party. There must be some separation.
Mr. Ali noted that a mix of professionalism in the public service and politics is not just limited to the Elections Commission. During the appearance on the US-based talk show, he also spoke about the need to develop closer ties with the Guyanese diaspora. The government, he said, will be introducing a number of initiatives in that regard. Let's tell you now that as the investigations continue into the 1.5-ton cocaine bust in Belgium that was traced to Guyana, the Guyana Revenue Authority has fired 5 of its container scanning specialists. The termination letters signed by the senior manager for the Human Resources Department were issued on Friday and took effect from yesterday. The termination letters make no reference to the issues surrounding the cocaine shipment from Guyana or the deletion of scanning images of the container which had the cocaine. Instead, the GRA Human Resources Department used the Termination of Employment and Severance Pay Act to fire the 5 specialists. The letter did not make clear the grounds on which the 5 specialists were dismissed in keeping with the act. All of them will be paid their full benefits, including 1 month's salary, in lieu of notice, severance pay benefits, annual leave allowances, and vacation allowances. As an investigation was launched into the drug bust last year and issues surrounding the GRA scanning equipment were found, 11 of the container scanning specialists were sent home on administrative leave, pending the outcome of the investigation. While 5 have now been fired, the fate of the other 6 is unknown. In the courts now, an $80 million lawsuit against the state, which was filed by Colwyn Harding over a sexual assault matter by police officers, has been dismissed after Harding's attorney was a no-show for the start of the case. Harding had accused members of the Guyana police force of sodomizing him with a baton during an interrogation back in 2013. The matter was called before Justice Narendra Singh yesterday at 9 a.m. When the judge noticed that the man's attorney was not present in the court to proceed with the matter, there was a 50-minute adjournment as the attorney was contacted. Once the attorney was contacted, he asked for a 25-minute delay in the start of the case. When that time elapsed, he was still a no-show. The attorneys representing the state told the court that it was clear that the accuser was no longer interested in pursuing the matter. As such, they requested that the matter be dismissed, and the judge agreed, ordering costs to the tune of $100,000 to the state. Back in 2013, when the allegations first surfaced, there was national outrage, but the state always maintained that there was no evidence to support the man's claims. 2 officers were initially charged for assault, but the matter was also dismissed for lack of evidence.
I'm a lover of dancing. Since I was small, I danced the foxtrot. I feel a pain in the foot.
Lymphatic filariasis can be a chronic disease, and left long enough without being treated or identified can cause debilitation. If you're infected as a child, it's there, it multiplies in your system, in your body for years until it actually causes damage to the lymphatic system.
So when it started to swell, I couldn't wear sandal, I couldn't wear a shoe.
The stigma that's attached to them, it's something that's overwhelming.
Yeah, these times your name changed. You're no longer who you are, Bigfoot lady.
When they used to share these tablets, I used to disregard them. And when I know the importance of the tablet, when I got this foot, then when they come around again and give me tablets, I throw down my throat in front of them and say, we're gonna go inside and drink some water.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19 across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS Freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all: do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about, and ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
What if eliminating lymphatic filariasis was as easy as running the 50-meter sprint? Guyana is then well advanced in the race to eliminate lymphatic filariasis, known commonly as filaria. As we are crossing the finish line, let us remember that this chronic infectious illness can survive in our bodies for years unknowingly before triggering health conditions like hydrocele and elephantitis. What we also know from the current global pandemic is that chronic conditions put you at a higher risk of complications when contracting COVID-19. Your best prevention method is taking your filaria tablets during the mass drug administration campaign. This is the step that takes Guyana closer to the finish line of eliminating filaria as a public health problem. A message from the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
Across the region right now, Brazil's Congress yesterday chose lawmakers endorsed by President Jair Bolsonaro as speakers of its 2 chambers, giving the far-right leader a base among center-right politicians with whom he had once vowed never to ally. Senator Rodrigo Pacheco won the 2-year term to head the upper chamber by a vote of 57-21. Another new Bolsonaro ally, Arthur Lira of the right-wing Progressive Party, later won the speakership of the lower house by 302 to 145 votes. Bolsonaro's support for Pacheco and Lira underscores his embrace of a fragmented bloc of lawmakers, known more for their horse-trading prowess than ideological commitments. The president ran in 2018 on a pledge to clean up the capital and end decades of pay-to-play politics. Colombia's Navy is searching for an unknown number of people who are missing after 2 boats capsized off the port city of Tumaco. At least 14 persons, 7 of them children, were killed when the boats sunk in the Pacific on Saturday. The boats were transporting locals from Tumaco to San Jose. The cause of the accident is not yet known, but officials said none of the bodies they had retrieved had been wearing life jackets. There is no record of how many persons were on board, but survivors say as many as 16 people could still be missing. 35 persons, including 5 children, were rescued from the water, which survivors describe as unusually turbulent at the time of the accident. And finally tonight, international news. A Moscow court has jailed Russian president critic Alexei Navalny for 3.5 years for violating the conditions of a suspended sentence. He has been in detention since returning to Russia last month. He had been treated in Germany for a near-fatal nerve agent attack against him in August. Thousands of supporters have rallied across Russia in support of Mr. Navalny. His suspended sentence for embezzlement has been converted into a jail term. He has already served a year under house arrest, which will be deducted from the total. In court, he called President Vladimir Putin a poisoner, blaming him for the attack. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.